ladies and gents, welcome back to math. Today, you and I are starting a brand new topic, and we are going to be talking all about graphing in this topic, which is really exciting and super fun. Today, we're going to be talking about something called a line plot. So when we're talking about a line plot, it is using dots on a number line to show us data. Now, do you know what data is, or data, you might hear it being called? Data is information that you've collected. So an example would be if I wanted to ask everyone in my class what their favorite color was, and I wrote down how many kids liked yellow, how many kids liked red, how many liked blue, and then that would be my data. And that's what I would put on a line plot or a different kind of graph to show the class as a whole. So it would show you how many kids like yellow, how many like blue, how many like green, stuff like that. So let's go watch a visual learning video to see what this is all about.
What are different ways to display data? Let's find out. What is being measured in the picture?
We're measuring a glue stick.
The length of the glue stick is being measured. How long is the glue stick? The glue stick is 2 inches long. You can use a table to record the measurement data. What are the labels at the top of the table? The labels are object and length in inches. What do the numbers in the table tell you? The numbers tell you the length of each object in inches.
Select your answer.
The numbers are telling me the length of the objects in inches. So we would be clicking on length of objects, not the number of objects, because we don't have 2 glue sticks. The glue stick is 2 inches long.
You can make a line plot to show the data. Place a dot over the number that shows each length.
Let's try it. So select each row of the table to show plotting on the number line. So if I look at the glue stick,
The glue stick is 2 inches long.
so they put 1 dot over the 2 on the line plot. What about the string?
The string and the scissors are 4 inches long.
So notice there's 2 objects, the string and the scissors, that are both 4 inches long. So we put 2 dots over the 4 on the line plot, and then the feather.
The feather is 6 inches long.
And there's only 1 object, the feather, that's 6 inches long, so we put 1 dot on the line plot. There's 4 objects and 4 dots.
Why do you think this is called a line plot? The data are recorded on a number line. The 2 dots above the 4 tell you that 2 objects are 4 inches long. What is the longest object?
The longest object would be this feather because it's 6 inches long, and everything else is shorter.
The feather is the longest object.
Now you know how to use a line plot to display data.
So we're going to grab our workbooks and do a little measuring and some practicing making some line plots and looking at what those are like. So let's grab our workbooks. So we're going to start on page 804. So if you need to pause to get your workbook and turn to that page and grab a pencil, do that now. You also want a ruler. So if you have a ruler, it can be one that is printed or whatever you need to use. That would be great because we are going to do a little bit of measuring. Okay. If you don't have a ruler, it's not the end of the world. You can kind of make your best estimate for the lengths of these objects. But if you do have one, that would be a really good tool to go grab because we're going to do a little bit of measuring. So we're going to do these guided practice problems here on page 804. It says measure each object in inches, record each length in the table. This is our table down here. It shows the object and its length because we're going to write down the lengths. Then we're going to make a line plot and we're going to show each of the lengths on the line plot. So our first thing that we need to measure is this marker. So I'm going to use my ruler here. Okay, mine is 4 inches long. So I'm going to say 4 inches long here. And what about the crayon? How long do you guys think that is? And it might not be perfect, but remember we can make an estimate. So if it's more than the halfway mark between 2 and 3, then we'd say it's 3 inches, not 2 inches. So I'm going to say this is 3 inches long. Even if an object doesn't perfectly go to 1, 2, 3, or 4 inches, we can make an estimate if it's more than half of the inch or less than. Okay, so don't forget to do that as well. So I need to write these in my table. The marker was 4 inches in length, and the crayon was 3 inches in length. So now on your line plots, you do have to label the numbers and you have to label what you're measuring or what you're putting on your line plot. So we are putting down the number of inches. So we need to label this. We actually have to write the label. We have to say number of inches. And the numbers that we're going to put on our line plot, I'm just going to do 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like they have set up for us. So 0 inches, 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inches, 4 inches, and 5 inches. And now I need to take my data from the table, my lengths, and put them on the line plot. So the marker is 4 inches, so I'm going to put 1 dot above 4 inches. That's to show that there's one object that's 4 inches long. And then the crayon is 3 inches long, so I need to put 1 dot above the 3 on my line plot because there's one object that is 3 inches long. And that's it, we made a line plot. So we're gonna go watch one more quick video to help us practice, and then to help us learn, and then we're gonna do a little bit more practice on our workbooks.
I love to read, and I have a lot of books in my room, 12 total. And here are the lengths of all the books in inches. Now, taking that chart, I can make a line plot. A line helps you organize data. All I need is a number line, a title, and labels that fit my data. And boom, here is the data plotted. What do you notice? The most common book length is 9 inches. 5 books are 9 inches long. Using a line plot can help you see data easier and answer some very important questions.
Let's go do some practice. Let's turn that page. Now we're going to measure a few objects on this page and we're going to make a line plot together. So I'm going to give you guys a minute and I need you to measure each one of these objects and write down what the length is. So I'm going to grab my ruler, you guys grab yours and measure these objects and write down the length, and then we will check and make sure we got the same lengths, and then we're going to make a line plot together. Okay, did you measure them? This is what I said. I said the paintbrush is about 5 inches long, the chalk is 3 inches long, the straw is 6 inches long, and the glue stick is 2 inches long. So now we're going to go down to number 7 and we're going to make the chart, and you're going to help me make the line plot. Okay, so I had to scroll down, so I had to erase my numbers, but we're going to put the lengths into our chart. So we said that the paintbrush was 5 inches long, the chalk was 3 inches long, the straw was 6 inches, and the glue stick was 2 inches long. So now we have to make the line plot. So where did you think that we should put the dot for the paintbrush on our line plot? Where do you think? What number? It's 5 inches long, so we need to put a dot above the 5. What about the chalk? Above the 3. The straw, where would that go? The 6. And how about that glue stick? Above the 2. So now we've shown that our objects are 2 inches long, 3 inches long, 5 inches long, and 6 inches long on our line plot. Pretty cool. Let's go ahead and turn the page, and you're going to do one more problem on this section, and then we are going to do a little bit more practice. Today we're kind of combining 2 lessons to get more practice. So let's go turn the page and do one more problem over there. Okay, so for number 8, it says Sophia measured the length of her colored pencils and made a table. Use the data to make a line plot. So I want you to pause me and take these numbers and put them on the line plot where you think they belong. And then when you're done, come back to me and we'll double check that you have them in the right spots. You ready? You paused? You did it? You have all 4 dots? Okay. So I see that the red colored pencil is 4 inches long, so I'm going to put 1 dot here. The blue is 3 inches long, so 1 dot here. The green is 7 inches long, so 1 dot here. And the yellow is 9 inches long. So now I know the different lengths of her colored pencils. We are going to turn the page and we're going to go all the way to page number 811 in our workbooks. So go ahead, you guys, turn the pages with me here. We need to turn to page 811 because we are going to go to the next section in our book to help us do a couple more problems. We just did lesson 14.1, and then guess what? 14.2 is the same topic. It's just another day's worth. So instead, we're kind of smushing them together. So that's why we have to go all the way to page 811 to do just a couple more problems. I know it's a little strange, but keep going. Let's see. So page 811 should look like this. So see, mine says 811 on it. Has our lovely friend over here. So make sure you're on this page. Pause me if you need to. And we're just going to do a couple more problems to help us practice. Okay, you know, friends, I was looking and we're actually going to turn to page 812. So go ahead and turn the page one more page. And we're going to practice making a line plot all by ourselves from scratch right here. Okay, so this is our problem. We're doing problem number 10. It says use the data in the table to complete the line plot, then use the line plot to solve the problems. So first we need to label our line plot. So what do you think we could call it? Our table is called crayon lengths in centimeters. So what do you think we could call the table? What should be our title? I'm going to say crayon lengths because that's what we are talking about. We're not measuring crayon heights or crayon widths. We're doing the length of them. So I'm going to say crayon lengths, just like that on my title here. So go ahead and copy that down. And then we need to label the bottom. And the way we do this is we need to say what we're measuring it in. Are we doing it in feet, yards, inches, centimeters, meters, miles? Okay, we need to say how are we measuring it? What's our unit? So for this one, if we look at the table, it says in centimeters. So we need to say how many centimeters. We're going to label this number of centimeters. That's our label for the bottom. Just like that. So pause me if you need to get that done. And we have one last thing that we need to add to our line plot before it's ready to put the data onto it. So the last thing that we need to do is actually add the numbers. So if you notice, this is just a blank number line. We have to make it a line plot by adding in our numbers. So I'm looking over here and I'm gonna see what lengths do I need to put on here. I see 5, 6, 7, and 8. I don't see any 4s or any 9s. So I am just gonna put 4 centimeters, 5 centimeters, 6 centimeters, 7 centimeters, and 8 centimeters. And I could have just left off 4. I just felt like putting it on there. I could put 9 on there. I don't have to. But it's up to you what numbers you want to put on there, like how many. But you have to make sure that you have all the ones for your data. And you can't skip any. I couldn't just say 5, 8, 9. No, have to go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so you just make sure that when you're doing your line plots, you're including all of the numbers that are in your data. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to go through and I'm going to go box by box and mark it and then cross off the box to help me keep track. So my first crayon is 6 centimeters. So 1 dot here, cross it off. 7 centimeters, 1 dot here, cross it off. 7 centimeters, cross it off. 5 centimeters, cross it off. Make sure you're making your dots nice so they're not like crazy all over the place. 8 centimeters, cross it off. So if you want to pause me and finish this, I'm going to do mine and kind of fast forward and we'll meet back when we have all of our data plotted. Okay, I have all of my data plotted on my line plot and I have 4 crayons that are 5 centimeters long. I have 7 crayons that are 6 centimeters long, 5 crayons that are 7 centimeters long, and 4 crayons that are 8 centimeters long. So that is how we would take a whole bunch of data just like that and we would make it into a line plot. So line plots are really helpful if you want to show your data in a nice, easy way. So this way we know how many crayons are 5 centimeters long, how many are 6, how many are 7, and how many are 8 centimeters long, which is pretty cool. Let's look at your homework. Okay, here's your homework. Now be careful. I am going to have you go to 2 different pages in your workbook to do your homework. So I would write this down. On page 806, I want you to do number 9 and number 11. And then on page 812, I want you to do number 11 and number 12. So those are your 4 problems that I want you to do as more practice. And then go to your quick check. You'll only be doing 1 quick check today. And then after that, you're going to do your Math Facts Pro and iReady, whatever your teacher has told you to do. I will see you back here tomorrow because we're going to talk about a brand new type of graph. I'll see you then, friends. Bye.